A mortsafe or mort cage is a construction designed to protect graves from any disturbance in the United Kingdom. During the 18th century, many graves were being robbed to supply the need for medical students to learn anatomy by dissecting the human corpses. The British authorities turned a blind eye to this grave robbing because surgeons and students were working to advance medical knowledge. This was all kept very quiet to prevent people from realising what was happening. When a case of grave robbing came to light, this caused riots, damage to property and even fatal attacks. The need for more bodies became greater in the 19th century due to the increase in numbers of schools and students. There was continual raiding of scheduled graveyards, even fights broke out in the city graveyards. Men were employed to steal bodies and transport them from place to place, even across the sea for sale to medical schools. Public outrage ensued, particularly in Scotland, as there was great reverence for the dead and a belief in the resurrection. It was believed that the dead could not rise if in an incomplete state. People were determined to protect the graves of loved ones. The rich could afford heavy table tombstones, vaults, mausoleums and iron cages around the graves. The poor put flowers and pebbles on the graves to detect any disturbance. They planted heather and branches into the soil to hinder the robbers. Friends and relatives would take turns to watch the graves during the night. Watch houses were even erected to shelter the watchers, but graves were still being violated. One watch house in Edinburgh was 3 stories high. But as to the mortsafe itself, well, that was invented around 1816. These were iron or ironstone devices of great weight with many different designs. There could be complex designs of rods and plates padlocked together. A plate was placed over the coffin and rods with heads were pushed through the holes in it. The rods were kept in place by locking a second plate over the first to form a very heavy protection. It could only be removed by 2 people with keys. They were placed over the coffins for 6 weeks, then removed for further use when the body inside was sufficiently decayed. Sometimes the church would buy them and hire them out. Vaults were being built, repositories for the dead bodies, around 1827, mainly in Aberdeenshire. Some were above ground while others were partially underground or wholly. In the village of Udney Green, Aberdeenshire, the Mort House is a circular building with a thick studded wooden door and an inner iron door. Inside is a turntable enough to hold 7 coffins. A coffin would be moved round as further ones were added, and by the time it reappeared, the body would have been of no use to the dissectionists. The communities near the Scottish schools of medicine in Edinburgh, Glasgow and Aberdeen employed some means of protecting the dead, either with mortsafes or watchhouses. Mortsafes could be found in churchyards and burial grounds. Some are broken or rusting away. Surviving examples can be found in Cadder Parish Church in Glasgow, an iron mortsafe and a watchtower. In Colton, a village outside of Edinburgh, an iron coffin mortsafe still survives. And with all that said, it's a wonderful piece of long forgotten history, that namely of the mortsafe or the mort cage.